Hi guys, welcome back. Today's Tuesday, January the 9th. This is going to be a sad video, and I just want you to know that it does depict violence against a child. So if you find that it's going to be hard for you to watch, or if you're offended by hearing stories like that, then I ask you please don't watch it. But this is something that happened to me when I was 14 years old, and it involves my mom and my dad. As y'all know, my mom, I've told you, she was not a loving person. She was just miserable her whole life, always depressed, always self-centered and self-absorbed. Didn't ever think about anybody else but herself and her own misery. So I had a very bad childhood. And Daddy wasn't always wallowing in misery, but he had a real short temper, and he was just mad and angry all the time. And he was crippled because when he was an infant, he had polio. So his right arm was totally paralyzed, but his left arm was humongous. I mean, it was like this big around, and he had a lot of strength in it. Well, he would just get mad and just blow up. I mean, and he would curse, and he would throw these hissy fits and stomp and slam things and throw things, and it was just a fighting match. It was a very tumultuous childhood. I was so glad to get out of that house. And Mama loved to beat us with a switch, but Daddy loved to beat us with a leather belt. So one day I had come home from school, and I wanted to go somewhere with one of my friends, and Mama was in one of her pissed off moods, and she cussed and she ranted and she raved and she stomped through the floor and just pitched a big old fit. And I kept begging her, please let me go with Ann. I wanted to go spend some time with her. I think it was a Friday evening, and she wouldn't let me go, so I called her a bitch. I mean, she was being a bitch, and she just made me so mad. I know that was disrespectful, and I shouldn't have done it, but I just had enough. So I went to my room and closed the door and got out a book and was laying on my bed and reading it. Well, Daddy had worked the 7 to 3 shift that day at Gulf Oil Refinery. So when he got home about 4 o'clock, I reckon he was tired and probably hungry and irritable. Well, Mama couldn't wait to tell him that Glenda Merle had called her a bitch. Well, I heard him stomping through the house and slamming the doors and everything. Well, he slung the door open to my bedroom, and he reached in his in his pants, and he took this leather belt off, and he started screaming and cussing me out and telling me I'd better not ever call my mother a bitch. And he started beating me with that leather belt. And he beat me, and he beat me, and he beat me. I mean, he just would not stop. I swear to God, I thought the man was going to kill me. I was 14 years old. I wasn't real tiny, and, I was just doing all this fighting and trying to grab the belt and, get him away from me. And, of course, my closet was there, so I managed to get into my closet, and I was just trying to, back away, and he just kept beating me and hitting me everywhere. He hit me right across the eye right here with the belt buckle, and I just started bleeding. He was beating my legs and my arms, and my legs just started bleeding, and I was just screaming, Mama, help me, Mama, help me. Daddy's going to kill me. So I just kept trying to back away and get away from him, and I just couldn't. He just came into the closet with me and just kept beating me with that left arm and that old thick leather belt. So finally, Mama came in there and started trying to grab his arm and grab the belt, and she was screaming, Lamar, Lamar, you're going to kill her, you're going to kill her. So I guess this probably went on for at least a good 10 minutes. But she finally got him off of me. Oh, God, it was just horrible. And just the disgust and the humiliation and the embarrassment and I had never loved my mother, even though I tried real hard to love her. But I always had a little bit of love for my daddy. But after that day, that was it. I just totally lost all respect for him, and all love, what little bit of love that I did have, I did lose it for him. And I tried my whole life, even after that happened, to love Daddy. And so I finally got out of the closet and cleaned myself up and everything, and I couldn't even go to school, y'all. It was at least a week, before I could go to school. And back then, they had just come out with these, the black stockings with the designs on them and everything. So Mama went and bought me a pair of those, and that's what I covered up my legs with. And even though it was warm weather, I had to wear long sleeves. And then I still had that big old cut across my eye. And I just told everybody, that I had run into the door frame and hit it and cut my eye. But, the teachers, they had to know. They had to know. Nowadays, if a father does that to his child, he's going to get arrested for child abuse. And that's the way it should be. But after that happened, that was it. I was ready to try to get out of that house as fast as I could. And then from then on, I always had me a boyfriend. I was always looking for my exit out of there. So I know this is traumatic and it's difficult to watch, but it was just on my heart today for some reason, and I just wanted to talk about it. So thanks for listening, guys. Bye.